Hello, my name is Sakari Lehtinen. Let's continue on getting started with Simplebim by setting the requirements for your data and using automated validation to guide your edits. If you are not already watching inside the Simplebim, please get your free trial now from datacubist.com. Just like you have very specific requirements for different kind of drawings, elevations, sections, details, you have specific requirements for different kind of BIM exchange files. In BIM exchange, the basic requirements are set by the receiving application. For example, an IFC file imported to quantity takeoff application has very different data requirements than the exchange file targeted to an energy analysis application. Our target in this tutorial is indeed energy analysis. So what are the three basic requirements for an IFC file? First of all, it should only include objects that are required by the targeted task and application. You don't create any drawings with all the objects and properties in them either, do you? Second, it should only include the properties required by the targeted task and application. Many times the extra objects and properties will increase the file size more than 90%, and any unnecessary data will cause unnecessary problems. Take my word for it. And third, the property values in the IFC file should have valid values. If the data in a BIM exchange file cannot be professionally trusted, the whole data exchange becomes useless. Now let's start the actual editing by choosing the requirements for our task. Note, however, that it's not mandatory to use templates in Simplebim, but they will make your BIM exchange much easier. The ready-made templates are found from the Startup canvas, or if the model is already open, here in the Editor tab. For now, let's click on Apply User Template and choose this training template, which includes the requirements for EDA's energy analysis. Right away, we can see which parts of the model are meeting the requirements and which are not. As you can see, the template also did most of the editing work automatically for you. For energy analysis, we only need walls, spaces, windows, doors and slabs, sometimes curtain walls. But we don't need furniture, columns, railings, stairs, trees and such. Now, let's fine-tune the edits manually, but first let's go through some basic things. By double-clicking on a viewport, you can move it to the center. 3D navigation works like this. You can navigate either with the mouse wheel or with the right button. To rotate, use the right mouse button or mouse wheel plus shift key. There's a mouse wheel zoom. If you don't have mouse wheel, use right mouse button plus control key instead. Panning can be done with the middle button or with the right mouse button plus shift key. You can set the rotation point by pressing V and by left-clicking on the place of your preference. Area selection is started separately for each selection, like this. You can also start it by pressing the shortcut A. That might be faster if you need to do it multiple times in a row. Use Ctrl to add to selection and Shift to remove from the selection. Also, at any time you can find a context menu behind the right click. With the tooltip, you can quickly view object data. Using Shift and Ctrl will show you more data. Finally, note that most of the palettes, not just 3D, have some options on the ribbon tab or at the info bar. Now choose a quick select. It allows you to select objects based on different criteria. I'll start with object class. Hover over the walls, right-click and choose Hide. Hover over the spaces, right-click and isolate them. Finally, I choose space name to find the irrelevant crossed areas from the model. Hover over the crossed areas and drag and drop them to the excluded bucket. You should drag and drop and keep objects you don't want to exchange in the excluded bucket and the objects you want to exchange in the included bucket. Finally, I right-click and show all the objects. When you are done with the objects, you are ready to trim the properties. Click on the walls. As you can see from the property palette, most of the properties, or the gray properties, are already automatically excluded from the model. If you need to include additional properties, right-click on the property and choose Include Selected. or if you need to exclude properties, right-click and choose Exclude Selected. Finally, it seems that there's still something wrong with the walls and slabs. If you hover over the validation icon, it tells you the reason. There seems to be some issues with the values. Next, let's go to the property editor and fix this. Click on the property editor button and continue by watching the tutorial over there. See you.